Welcome back. So, today was a big surprise, and tomorrow we may get even a bigger surprise. So, let's talk about what to expect tomorrow and the rest of this week for Bitcoin and crypto, and discuss what happened before. Exactly, basically 1 year ago, what happened that's so similar to right now. So, this is something you don't want to miss. All right. First things first, today actually, we had a shakeout, a fake out, whatever you want to call it, right? Upon market open, we went up, and then slowly afterwards for a few hours, we went down, and then a few hours later, boom, we went back up. So normally speaking, before FOMC meeting or a press conference, you have volatility. That's what we saw. But it was a fake out because we actually rallied pretty hard this afternoon. It wasn't just like a slow rally. We rallied pretty hard. Bitcoin is back up like 117 basically, a little bit under 117. So we had a really good rally, and alts rally really hard. So I think right now is basically everyone is pricing in that not only are we going to get a rate cut tomorrow, but the Fed is overall going to be dovish. Okay. That's basically how I interpret it, the price action today. Wall Street's interpreting that we're going to get some dovish guidance, okay? Meaning that they're probably going to say something about jobs being weak and they want to save it. And despite inflation going up, they're going to have to make the hard decision to cut, right? And we're probably going to get 3 more. There are so many people that are calling for a 50 basis point cut. I'm sure the reporters are going to ask Powell about it, whether or not they've considered it, they talked about it and stuff. And I'm sure they will say, Powell will say yes, but we don't feel this is the appropriate time. However, here's the thing. Last year in September, same thing, September, we did get a surprise 50 basis point cut. Some of you guys remember that. It wasn't anticipated that we were going to get a 50 basis point cut, but we did. Powell actually jumped because he waited so long to cut. We had elevated rates for so long, and many people thought that he should have cut months earlier. So in September, he came out and basically said, yeah, we decided to do a 50 basis point cut. And that's what's so similar about last year and this year, right? And guess what happened? Last year, we had the best September for Bitcoin. We may actually surpass it this year. Last year, everyone anticipated September was going to be bad. And I said, hey, let's not forget, we had basically 4 years of price or rate hikes. We didn't get any cuts. And then we got a surprise cut. And then we had more afterwards, right? But that was the month Bitcoin started turning around. Had a 7+% month. And then November was even better, right? We had some tremendous pumps afterwards. Bitcoin went up approximately 77%. I saw someone post afterwards. So are we going to get something similar tomorrow? I don't know. The percentage for a 50 basis point cut still seems very, very low. There's a slight chance, but the good news is even if we don't get it, we know that we're going to get 2 more, right? Unless they come out super hawkish, which I don't think they will. I think everyone's on board saying that we need to cut because despite inflation ticking upwards, jobs are hurting right now. The economy's hurting. Unemployment's going up, right? So that's the thing. That's why it's so similar. Same time period. Last year, after we had those rate cuts, well, then we had a pause, and that leads us till now. So we haven't had like a period of, monetary easing where we kind of stopped and then we started easing again like this in like 30 years. Last time was like 1984 or something like that. I forgot what year, but it was in the 80s. So it's been a long, long, long time. And every time we have monetary easing and we get rate cuts, what follows is really good pumps. Really good pumps. We know Bitcoin is stalled right now. It's holding tremendously well. We're at 117. We're only $7,000, $6,000 away from all-time high. We know Bitcoin is wanting to climb, right? There's something holding it back. The rate cuts could be the final straw that opens the floodgates and lets Bitcoin fly. But what I'm more excited about is I think this is when we will truly see altcoin season, right? We know it started already. It's still very early because a lot of people are asking about, well, what about this? What about this? What about this? They're not back. You're right. Only a few selective few, the ones that have the most momentum, the community, the progress, the treasuries, they have done the best. Others still not so much. The money is still on the sidelines. Stablecoin reserves are all-time high. There's a lot of money there. People are still kind of cautious. This is not true FOMO season yet, but we will get there. And I think that there's a really good possibility after tomorrow, that's when it starts. Now, maybe not immediately. Remember what I said earlier about FOMC meetings. Generally speaking, okay? Generally speaking, the day of, very volatile. Right after the meeting, we get a crash. No matter what Powell says, usually we get a crash. It turned very red. Even if he's really, really dovish. I remember the last meeting, he did the same thing. And then the next day, Thursday, is usually red. And then what happens is on Friday, we reverse back strong, and then afterwards we start going. So very, very short term, be prepared that we may get red. But then long term, this is definitely setting a trend for us to move higher. Now, there could be an exception, just like today. Today turned out to be very green. So tomorrow, maybe we have an exception, turn green. Especially if Powell just comes out and says, you know, we're just going to keep cutting, right? Keep in mind, this is his last few months left of this tenure, and then he's gone, right? So he may be looking to play ball and just be more receptive of things. So, yeah. So I think tomorrow is going to be very critical, despite the fact things are baked in. But I think everyone wants to hear him talk about the last few rate cuts, possibility of 50 basis point cut, and what else they're planning on doing, right? There's really nothing. I mean, the Fed really only has two tools under his belt. I mean, it's really just to cut or hike rates or buy bonds by injecting liquidity. That's really all it could do, right? Sometimes they buy junk bonds from corporate or from banks or whatever, or they give them loans. Outside that, that's it. That's really all they can do. You can't really control inflation, can't control a lot of stuff. Not really. They can't fix the root of the problem. They can only just like band-aid it. That's what the monetary policies, the easing and tightening, that's what it is. It's just a band-aid. But yeah, I think it's good. I think the fact that we rallied today pretty hard, and even now we're holding, shows that investors are anticipating tomorrow's gonna be a good day. And I'm hoping it is. And I think it's going to be. So so it's all good. It's all good. All right. Outside of that, that's it. You know, after this video, I'm gonna be streaming again. I'm pumped.fun. I told you guys about it this morning. I'll tell you guys, remind you guys. I know it's just not for you guys because it's just me playing Clash Royale. But you know, today I did it in the afternoon, and we still like 67 people showed up. We had a good time. We just talked regularly. Just keep in mind when I'm doing my gaming streams, it's like whatever goes, right? I could talk crypto, I could talk cards, I could talk whatever, but most people just want to talk about, you know, the new Clash token and what it's going to do, and some talk about the game, obviously, but whatever, anything goes, right? Just something new, and streaming on Pump.Fun is definitely interesting, to say the least. And I have the link in the description. But outside of that, guys, strap on. I think tomorrow could be an absolutely glorious day. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. All right? Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye.